We're still having a bike traffic jam, which is kind of ridiculous. I'm not even gonna, we're just gonna zone out. We're gonna zoom right out. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Walden. And in the last part, we built out this here train station. She's looking pretty good. We've got, oh my God, we have 220 passengers waiting. That's insane. Do they all get on the train? Hold on. Mediterranean train station, 114. The next train coming this way is over here. You have 30 people already. You're heading out of the station. Oh man. Okay. This says 12. Wow. It's going pretty well. In between parts, I did fix the issue here where the trains were crossing over themselves to get into the station. I noticed that when I was making my edits. So if you've commented that, it's already fixed. Don't you worry. I got you. And I want to focus on a few things today. But the first thing I would like to knock out, I actually think we need to just get rid of Cooperview. It's such a small little district. I mean, it's basically the same size as Bowling College, but at least this is for something specific. So I actually think we're going to ditch Cooperview. And Jared Howard had made the comment that although he didn't want to see Old City expand, it may actually make sense for Old City to expand. And I think I agree. And now Old City is this whole area, which means I kind of want to match what's going on here in this section of Old City. Now, most of these townhouses over here are probably going to end up disappearing over time. So I want to make some adjustments. So let's just get started with doing a little zoning here. It's going to be real boring. It's going to be real samey. But what I want to do is I want to have kind of similar blocks to what we had here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 with an alleyway. And then again, we have 4. I think we'll make these a little bit larger. So we'll do 6. So I'll have 3 with a space in the middle. And then we want to have another spot. Let's just send this straight up. If I go back 6 and we have an extra 1 there, that gives me 3 and 4. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. All right. So we got 6, extra 1. We'll go right here. Line all this up with its friend. That gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to go right here. Now, this whole area is, obviously closed in. It can't really go anywhere because we've got this highway. That's okay. That happens. And I think the people who live here are just going to have to deal with that. I think here at the front, I would be fine doing houses along this row. But if we did that, I'd also want to have an alleyway behind them. And then I'd want to have 1, 2, 3. I think this is going to go right here. The challenge we're going to have is actually connecting into this area because this is so filled with intersections. Let's connect here. We're going to use that intersection to our advantage. And then I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these 2 guys. I also think as I'm looking at this, we have a one-way going this direction. I think I might actually upgrade this section here to be 2-lane one-way road going over here. We'll upgrade these last 2 to be 3 lanes. Let's clear out the lights that are here. We don't need those. There's 1 light there. So we've got 3 lanes. All this is 2 lanes. Then you come here and go left, right. Okay. Yeah, I think that works. And I think what we'll do is we'll even go ahead and just take this road here that was at one point a one-way, and it's just going to become a regular 2-lane road, go right through the middle there. A little bit different in terms of the size of our blocks, but I'm okay with that. And maybe this side here, maybe we do actually have this come around and follow the highway a little bit. I don't love it, but I also would hate to not use this space, Get rid of that. Let's just do that one more time. I'm going to send this straight up to here. And then I'm going to curve it in. Turn all this off except for angle and snap to. There we go. Beautiful. Now with that, I think it means I can probably back these up and we'll send this straight on over. So this is all a part of Old City now. Got this weird kind of center block there. I'm fine with that. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. I might even consider actually tacking onto this intersection instead. If we just snap to the angles, let me get my orientation here. If we get 90, lots of roads, but I'm into it. I think it makes for a fun little gameplay loop here. Let me go ahead and just remove all of these unnecessary intersections. For me, unnecessary intersections or crosswalks and lights and things like that are when the alleyway has dedicated crosswalks. That is not necessary. You don't need them. They can use the main roads to do that kind of crossing. Let's make sure there's no lights or anything on these guys. Beautiful. And now we've got this whole area kind of built out. Perfect. Now let's use platter. We are going to use the Netherlands medium density row houses. And I think that a lot of the row houses over here that are single family are going to upgrade today into the Netherlands style. Now, can I fit 3 deep? I can. Let's go ahead and stick a set there. We'll fit a set here. Fit a set here. All right. Is it perfect? No. There's a lot of empty spaces there that I can't do anything about, but that's okay. We've completely destroyed any residential demand that we had, and I'm totally fine with that. All right, so we've got all of our zoning in place here. Before we do any kind of trees or anything, I also want to, I do want to make just one adjustment. This section of Hyacinth Street is real bad. So let me just fix this, because it's gonna make me freak out if I don't get this perfectly straight. 1-8, there we go. And I'm tempted. Do we bring this other road out? I don't know if that road is necessarily needed, Briarwood Street, but it is a bike lane road. So it makes me wonder if we actually keep this as a bike lane road and send it up. But then we'd lose 2 buildings, which I don't really want to do. You can just come over this way. Bike on over, bike this direction. I think we'll put a bike path over here somewhere, or maybe we make Davenport Street kind of expand that biking out. But for now, that'll be fine. And I think just to round this section out, let's actually put a road as if it maybe would have connected up at a different time. And then we'll just put a small little roundabout, put a little tree there, just to kind of cap that off. We'll figure out what goes in that corner. But now we're getting some houses in here. That looks good. Let me replace a few of these guys here. We should be able to go all the way 3 back. There we go. That's much nicer. Much nicer. Do we also place houses along this road? Because part of me thinks maybe I do. And we just fill in the rest with trees. We can cover this little edge here with trees. That's actually not too bad. Okay, so we're getting all these new houses in here. With that, I also think we need to come in here and we need to upgrade all of these roads into row homes. So let's go ahead and go through all of this. And I'm going to change all these single family homes into row homes. Now that we're starting to get out of the city, we can go ahead and think about building some actual row homes or actual single family homes for people. But for now, all of these I'm going to replace in Old City. We'll leave some of these down here in Bayview alone, so we've got that little mix, but I think all this area here is going to get these medium density row homes. All right, so then I'm just going to zone out this little road here. I think what we'll do is we'll do a set of USA Northeast low density buildings there. I then might actually come along in here and just plop down a little bit of office. Can we go 5 here? We cannot. We'll do a little bit of office there. We'll let some things zone in. Then we'll go back. We'll do a little bit more commercial. Let's reduce that down to a 4x4. There we go. It's going to be probably the same building as that there. That's fine. Now that we have this new industrial manufacturing, we can use platter for this. And we can set up some type of industrial factory right here on the corner. Because it's not going to be polluting anything, I don't think people will really mind all that much, which is great. All right, we can do one more office here. Great, so there's going to be kind of our main road there. Let me just put in, I think, a little path here. Maybe what we do is we'll do a bike and pedestrian path. I don't know if I can actually fit it. I can't. All right, so we're actually just going to do a regular 2-lane bike path instead. Because the pedestrians can come right over here. I'm not going to put bikes on that road there. All of this is fine as is here. We were going to come up with a way to connect this through. Am I comfortable getting rid of one of my offices? I am if it's this one. So what if I connect right into here. We send this straight up and back. And I think we come around this way. We go along this tree line, right? If I snap to existing, turn this off, and snap to angles, go along the tree line. Then we're going to do a little curve here and connect right up along the side of this building. That is perfectly fine. If you got to go, you got to go. All right. We've got a little connection there. We've got all of our houses here. We're getting some business built in here. I do think this area probably would benefit from a little bit more parking. I'm wondering if I can just do like a little upgrade here and not destroy too much. We could do this road. Oh no, it's going to destroy. You know what? Do it. Destroy what's there. Get a little bit bigger building there. That's perfect. If I get rid of this one, can we get something that fills the whole width? No. All right, so then let's do this instead. Let's just make this a regular building, regular commercial. Okay. So now we've got some parking in the rear. That's great. Once those zone in, we can do a bit more detailing there. Let me slap down some trees in this area just to get this all looking pretty. And then I think we need to rework a little bit of our bus lines because I don't think the way our bus is currently working makes a whole lot of sense. But let me do the trees first. Okay, there we go. So now we've got all these new trees here. I think that looks pretty decent. We've got businesses, we've got office, we've got industrial, and we've got a number of people living here. Now with that, it makes me think we need to rework the bus a little bit because now we've got this train kind of coursing through the city. We've got a few bus lanes that make sense and some that don't. For example, if I'm looking at our purple line right now, this line starts down here, does this little loop. That's great. We love that. It then heads up this direction, crosses through this intersection to do this turnaround, to then stop here, then go over this direction, to then come up and come back all the way over here. That's just a lot of movements that I don't think we need. We could probably get rid of this stop entirely. But if I do that, I actually think I want to just move the bus line over now that we've got some avenues. So here's what I think we're going to do. I want to build this small bus depot and see if I can fit it somewhere without causing too many problems. Honestly, I wouldn't mind just placing it right here. It's going to destroy a few different commercial buildings, but I think I'm okay with that. Let's place the bus depot right here along this side of Rosemead Street. Get rid of those buildings. They all got to go. The upgrades you have, do they all tack on? This goes in the back. What is this? Station services, a cafe, passenger services, etc., etc. Let's place that right there. We're just going to make this whole block into a bus depot block. I'm going to remove the trees that are here. We'll have to decorate this a little bit more, but I think this is going to be a much better setup here. Now with this here, I think we got to make some adjustments. So if I grab this purple line, I'm just going to move this stop to right here. I also don't necessarily know if I think you need this line. If this was facing this road, it would work a little bit better. But let's just focus on the purple line, I guess, for now. So if I move that purple line here, then what I want to do with the purple line is I actually want to send it along this road. And I'm going to send it up this alleyway, or this avenue. So let's go ahead and grab the NA bus with shelters. If we're here, we'll go 3-ish blocks. We'll stop right about here. This has bikes on it, so I just want to be a little bit mindful of those bikes. We're going to skip here. We're going to skip here. We're going to come all the way up here, across from this parking garage. You're very close, same block as that stop, so that's pretty decent. We'll skip all of this, and then I think what we'll do is we'll come right here outside of the college. Okay. We'll cut all the way up through here, and then I think we'll curve over and we'll connect into this stop. Okay, so that works. So you stop here. You come over here. I don't feel like you need to stop all the way over there. So what's going to happen instead, I think the stop's going to go right here. We'll move that over. We'll come back down. Then, on our way back down, there's a stop here. You could stop there. I do think I want another stop in this area before we cross back over. And you won't actually reach that stop. So let's do one just across the street. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. We're going to stop it there, and we're going to stop it here. That purple line's going to come up this way. It's going to stop right here, but it's no longer going to stop back there. Right now it's doing this weird kind of under the bridge turnaround, but that's okay because that's going to let me send that out that direction in the future, which will be really useful. It'll stop here. It'll come over this direction. It's going to stop right there. I do think we need another stop here on the way down. Where can we get this to work? It can't work there, but it can go right here. So we'll go ahead and do that. Stop here. Then instead of turning this direction and doing this stop, get rid of that stop entirely. Get rid of this stop entirely. Get rid of these stops. And instead, you are going to focus all your energy on this road. You stop here. I need another bus stop, I think, over here. But again, I want to be mindful of the fact that this is a bike lane. So if I have a stop here, I'm actually going to want to have the other stop, I think, right here in the middle. It's right in front of this building here, which is great. Then you'd make your turn. I just hate that it's going to remove my trees. I think this whole front of our city is going to have to be redeveloped in the future anyway, so it's probably not a big deal. Let's just do it. So you're going to come down this direction. It's going to stop right here. We're going to make this curve. We're going to stop here. We're going to come over this direction. Are we stopping here as well? I don't think so. We're going to come around and stop in this building here. Then this is going to come back around, stop right here. Why are you going over this way? You don't need to go that way. You need to come up this way. Stop here. Stop here. You're coming up this way. You're stopping there. Okay, so now that purple line is coming from the northern part of Pelican, kind of straight down this way through Bowling College, and then it's going over here into both Harper Park, Market Town, and ends over at this bus transfer station, which is really great. This Riverfront Express, I almost think it has to abandon this stop and go inside here. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. So I think we just get rid of this stop entirely. It's going to make a loop around that block. Totally fine. I might even be tempted to say, let's upgrade this whole thing just to be a bus lane. Coming around, parking, coming back around, and then heading up this direction. I don't need to make any edits to this one right now. But now in doing that, we have these abandoned lines here, and there's really nothing going north to south over here in Old City. So I think we're going to do that along Rosemead Avenue. So let's just get a sense of our stops. If we were to stop here, this could come out. It could go up this way. If this was a stop, we really wouldn't need another stop till here. Great, we already have one. We'll keep going up. We can leverage this stop. That's fine. Then we're going to come up here. I think we're going to have a stop right here in front of this area. It's then going to loop around. And if it has to loop around to go back over, I think I wouldn't mind having one other bus stop, maybe right here. And then it can loop back over, come down this way, stop here, skip this stop, reconnect back in, which tells me we can get rid of that stop entirely. And we can add a taxi stop here, getting rid of this taxi entirely, which allows that bike lane to be preserved. And then bikes can much more easily get to the ferry stop. That is even better. All right, let's go ahead and grab this. Let's give this a... You know what? I wouldn't mind like this kind of color. That's kind of fun. So let's start by stopping here. It's then going to come up this direction, stop here, over here by the cemetery, up here in our newer area of Old Town. I'm going to have it come along this direction and stop right here. Then it's going to loop back on itself and come back down Rosemead Avenue and reconnect up and in. Can you... You have to go that way. You can't kind of cross over another way. It's not ideal, but we'll go with it. All right, so now we've got a new bike lane kind of serving that area. That's great. Most of Old City here has increased in density a little bit. Now to kind of couple with that, I want to increase the density over here some. But before we do that, I think we need to take a look at our education, just because I think we're taxing out some things. So this is our urban elementary school that's taking care of Marketown and Harper Park. It's already at 1,200. We have not given it any upgrades. So let's go ahead and give it an additional 500 student capacity. Great. This high school here, it's basically full. It's serving this whole area, but now Old City just got even larger. So I do think we need another high school, and we might have to kind of commandeer some of the homes that are here that we just built to accommodate this. Let's go look at our high schools. It doesn't need to be anything big. Frankly, the New Zealand one is kind of just perfect. I really like the way this one looks. It is a little large, though. Ooh. It's not going to work if it's that size. We could do the German one, but again, it's a little bit too big. City High School, again, too big. There might be some people here who are not educated. That might just be what it has to be. Yeah, I think we might have to leave it. This high school is just going to be a little packed. Sorry, guys. Over here, we have this other high school that we placed for this area. This is serving these three areas here. Is this serving Harper Park? It is. All right, let's remove Harper Park, and let's put Harper Park on this purview. That'll just give us a little bit better, I think, spread. For this area, which is only serving these two, we are at 1,000 capacity, but we can place an extension wing. I'm going to place this. Honestly, I think I'm going to maybe place it like across the street. What if I was just to place this right here, right? Kind of looks like an extension of those buildings there. Now we've got 1,500 capacity, and we can place even more of these. So as this keeps expanding and we need more people or more seats, we can do that. So that's covering all of that. We look pretty good there. If I look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've looked over everything. High schools are good. Elementary schools are good. This one's a little bit of a challenge, but I think we just have to leave it. There's not anything we can really do about it. So just let it be. Okay, with that, now we probably need to also just do our ferry while we're sitting here. Right now we have it stopping right here, and I do think it could go a little bit further than that. I'd love to have a stop over here somewhere. We've got this bike stop here. If I was to build a ferry stop right here, we want a key ferry stop. Yes, yes, yes. Clearance too low. We're going to just ignore that. We could place this right here on the corner. Right? You go from here, you come all the way up here. There's not much happening in the middle here, but now that's going to get people all the way over here to work, which I think is going to be great. Let's extend this over to this point here. Send it up. Beautiful. Do we think about... No, I guess you could just walk right over. I will place a little path just so that we've got a little bit better movement, but I don't really think we need this. Oh, I did not mean to do that with Anarchy, but that's okay. And maybe what we'll do, because we've got a ferry stop here, we'll also place down some parking for our bikes. I think we'll just do a regular set of bicycle stands kind of right here along the edge. 1, 2. Oh, wait, no. Why are they overlapping? 1, 2, 3. Okay. We've got bikes. We've got connections here. That's great. Now, if I'm looking and you're industrial traffic, you come down this road, you have to get off here, drive through this residential neighborhood, come up this road, and then get to Pelican, which is less than ideal. I do wonder if there is a second connection here. Hold on. Let me just look at this. That would serve, I think, a lot of the industrial traffic much better. Now, it does need a little bit of finessing. I think it could look a little bit nicer, because now we've got a dedicated lane for all of our industrial traffic to head on out and over. Right here, we don't need crosswalks for either of those. We'll leave that crosswalk there, but that's, I think, much better. And even just to like further support this, we're going to turn off any turns to the left. You have to take this route and turn right, except for that car. who apparently doesn't have to follow the rules. Okay, that's great. That's great. Or those cars. Okay, people. Okay. All right, so all that's put together. That looks nice. Now with all that done, I think we have to do a little bit of upzoning in our downtown. If I look here at our population, we have an unemployment rate of 4.5. So I would like to change that. We finally have demand for commercial, and we have demand for office, which is great. We don't have high density office just yet. Don't have it just yet, but we are working our way there. So I think what we're going to do today is I would like to, we'll start with, why is there so much traffic on this road? What's your issue? I guess it's just because it's a one lane. Probably would be valuable to increase the size of this road, but I do want to do a full kind of rework of this riverfront. I think this could actually benefit from having maybe some piers and having just a bit more build out, but we're not there yet. We still have to detail this guy. Before we do that, let's go ahead and just get a few more taller buildings here. I'm thinking I want to fill in maybe these 2 blocks. We've got some tall buildings on this side, tall buildings here, as well as a few cropping up over this direction. So let's go ahead and change this area up a little bit. I'm going to remove this alleyway. Am I? Are we? Is that happening? That alleyway goes all the way through to here, then dead ends. So does this one. This one actually is already gone because of our farmer's market. So let's go ahead and get rid of this one first. All right, you know what? We'll do these 2 blocks instead. Let's get rid of this alleyway. Get rid of this alleyway. Then we're going to come in here and clear out all of the zoning in both of these blocks. Do I want to delete that building? Not if it's important. That building, oh, you know what? I bet you that's parking. All of this is going to get backed up. Get rid of all of this. Get rid of all of this. This is a post office. You don't actually have an operating district, but you seem to be functioning okay. You would look best if you were kind of surrounded by other buildings. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to move you just right over here to this corner. Right there to that corner. It gives me 2 square blocks that I can zone with. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to use high density commercial. And I think we're going to start with this block here and just zone out a huge square of high density commercial. Let's see what we get in that block. We also have some demand for high density residential, and I wouldn't hate doing that. We're going to do, I think we'll do this with platter because I want to see what kind of options I have. There's no 6-6. There is a 5-5, which I like the idea of that. So knowing that, I can probably just do that by hand, right? If I go in here, northeast, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. We'll get a nice large skyscraper there. We have more demand for commercial. So I think we're going to place another large building here. It'll be 2. That's fine with me. We still have commercial demand, which is kind of crazy. You know what? Let it do its thing. Now, I am bummed that we have this opening, but that would be a great spot for one of these little parks. Hold on. That one's a little bit too big. That one's the perfect size. We're placing that right here. And then we can fill this square with some bike parking. All right, we're going to let those 2 blocks redevelop. They're going to start changing that skyline a little bit, densify this area up. We're still having a bike traffic jam, which is kind of ridiculous. I'm not even gonna, we're just gonna zone out. We're gonna zoom right out. Okay, while all this zones in, which there's a ton of traffic now, but we kicked a ton of people out. People are trying to move around. There's gonna be a little bit of craziness happening here for a minute. I do also think I somehow got rid of the buildings that were here by accident. And I think I'm gonna, at least to this intersection, I think I'm gonna extend this avenue a little bit further. It was a divided avenue. We're gonna upgrade. We'll have to use anarchy for this. This road, and this road, and this road. Upgrade those to there. That's fine. And then we're going to place chestnut right in the middle. Hold on, let's go over here. Grab our chestnuts. Leave it just like that. Just expanding that avenue a bit. We get some serious development here. I don't want to mess with that just yet, but I think that's not too bad. What's going on here? We've got 2 lanes on both sides. Lots of people, lots of traffic. We'll see how that goes as things begin to build. Oh my God, yes. We're getting some tall buildings. It's only level 1 too. Like, I just want to see them all zone in. Okay, you know what? I was gonna go do something else, but nope. We're gonna let it do its thing. All right, we've got a ton of industrial happening over here, and I think the last thing we need to do to kind of round out the day is to bring those industrial goods over to the area where we also have all of our oil industry going on. This is going to end up being, I think, a pretty large port area at some point. For now, we're going to do just kind of a temporary build and not worry about the entire port itself. But I want to get a cargo train over this direction for sure. So let's go ahead and buy this tile of land here. I don't know what the kind of slopage looks like. It's nothing too crazy. I'm going to grab this height and I am just going to send this kind of straight along and fill in this whole area. And then I think we're going to place down a cargo port. Honestly, it works just fine. That's kind of perfect. Now, this definitely needs a railway connection. Which way is that facing? It's facing that way. Perfect. We could also do warehouses. We could also do cargo cranes. These have 20,000 a month up here. I'm going to leave that be for the moment. We're just going to leave this here. Let's go ahead and do a cargo ship route. Actually, no, I need medium ship way. Now, this we're going to have to do with anarchy, just because I don't have another option. I'm not buying all these tiles here. For now, we're going to send this over this direction. But this very well might change in the future. So now I've got 2 kind of connection points there. They could also, I guess, travel through here. Yeah. That's perfect. All right, cargo ships. Let's grab this guy here. We're going to send this right out to here and back over. And I guess we will do this one here. We'll send it out to here and back over. Also, the connections here are super close, which is really nice. Yeah, this is just a weird route it has to take. But I guess for now, while we're working on this, that's just what's going to have to happen. Now, this is going to need some kind of road. I actually wouldn't mind this being like a full-on avenue. We don't need anarchy for this. And frankly, we'll send this to here, and then I think, no, we will do a little bit of a curve to kind of go along with the direction of our hill slope here. Let's go and give this a curve here and tie that right in. So that should get all of its resources. Great. There we go. Then what we got to do is get our train connected. The whole point of this is to move these cargo goods all the way over to that cargo harbor. I mean, we have this open space here. It's also flat. I think it would be a little crazy not to use this as our cargo port. Let's figure out how that would work, though. If I was to grab a cargo port, is there a way to filter transport depot, transport stocks, cargo transport? We have 2. We have a cargo train terminal. If I snap to the road, it faces that direction. We also have a cargo transfer station, a large through-track warehouse where cargo trains can load and unload cargo to and from trucks. Actually, that's probably better because eventually we're going to want to have these trains go further that direction. Especially if the rest of this also becomes industrial. Okay, so this is going to go right here. I think that's perfect. How are we looking, though, with our slope? Not great. Not great. We're going to grab this height. We're just going to give this a nice square, raise this whole thing. We've got all this land that we used when we built our canal. And that'll be great because then we can send the train track straight on off and it can be bridged as we head over that direction. So that's going to work nice. All right. Rotate this guy around. Let's place our cargo train right here. It also means we can get people off the road before they go and deal with cargo. Let's build that a little bit nicer. If I send this right up to here, there's where it ends. We're going to send this here, and then we're going to give this just the smallest curve this way. Give this a medium roundabout there. It's perfect. And then we're going to connect this guy up to here. Now we got to get this kind of all the way over that way. This is one of those things where we do have to use anarchy only because I don't have access to everything I need. So first things first, this is all pretty flat. We're going to send this kind of straight along here. Maybe have it go kind of this direction. I actually wouldn't mind if it went like this, or we could send it to go this way. Have it go up through here. I wouldn't mind having this come straight and kind of curve underneath of a section of this road. And I grab this height and I bring this out. At some point here, like this has got to be enough that I could, yeah, I think this will be fine. If we curve like this, right, we're going to send this out this direction kind of straight like this until we reconnect with this height. There we go. There we go. This might need a little bit more work, but let's just expand all this out. We'll see. Okay. This is going to need to be raised. So let's stick this guy here, stick this guy here. We will raise this section of road up. Pearl Street. We'll get rid of those guys. And we're going to go ahead and get this guy curved. Now with that, I'm actually going to just rebuild this, I think, once more. I just want to see if I was to curve this and sent it perfectly in line, what would that curve look like? I think a little bit better. A little bit better. All right. Now we have to get this to connect over to here. So these are going to come out this way. And then we're going to send them up maybe through here and in. Would we want to share? See, like all these tracks go this way. So I can't use those tracks to my advantage. So let's do this. This is just farms. And so for now, I think I'm fine if there's a level crossing right after the avenue. Because there's not going to be a ton of traffic crossing into here. So now we have another train line here. The train's going this way. We have trains going this way. This also means we can tie into this if we need to for our passenger lines. I probably won't. But if we wanted to, we could. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Turn anarchy back off. Get rid of this. I think I want to take this train, send it out to here, and then I'm going to give this a little bit of a curve. Just like this. Connect that there. Yeah. I think that's great. All right, now this needs to be connected to the main depot, though, which is there a rear exit for the depot? There is. Perfect. Okay, so then grab this, and we're going to go right here, and we're going to go just like this. This is going to connect right into here. We'll upgrade this guy to this. Perfect. Now it's all connected in. Could be reworked a little bit there, but we'll come back to that. I mean, this is all going to probably change repeatedly, so I'm not too worried. If I was to do a cargo line, I could do a cargo line from here all the way down here, pick up all the goods that my people are producing, and then bring them over here to ship them out to neighboring cities. Oh, that's perfect. Let's go over to cargo. Let's go to cargo train. I just want to change the color here. Let's make it a red. It's going to be way easier to see. Okay. Now, this all still needs a lot of work, which we might do that in the next part. But I think what we need to do next, we just got to go through. We got to detail this area. We've got a little bit of terraforming to do. Here comes our first train. She's looking great. We got to do a little bit of work here. And then I also think I want to do a bit more work on our bus depot, our bus area. What do we have going on here? 24 passengers waiting. It was 24 for a moment. How's our zoning looking? Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Got a lot of large buildings here. That's great. I also think while we're at it, let's go ahead and change this section too. And let's do the, you know what? Let's do the European ones. Pause real quick. Delete all the buildings that are here. And let those just zone in with some European buildings. See what we get in their place. Okay, we're getting a ton of commercial, which is fantastic. Unemployment's down to 1.2. This should solve that for sure. Look at this. We already have 132 tons waiting here. This guy has 1.34 kilotons. This is already loaded up. Oh my God. Comes over here. We unload 0.3 kilotons. I don't even see many vehicles, if any. Did it even load anything up? Doesn't appear like it. But I guess they'll figure themselves out. I also think that right here would be a prime spot for a roundabout. I just think having like, let's do a large roundabout. It does need to have grass though. That's a little fancy. This is asymmetrical center. This has a big light to it, which I think I like the idea of having a large light there. We've got 2 lanes going out this other side. So I say this last piece here, let's upgrade this so that you've got 2 lanes to exit. Now this already has some parking, which is great. We've got this little area here for people to turn around in this cul-de-sac. Actually, that's a cul-de-sac. I wanted that to be a roundabout. Let's do a medium grass roundabout. It's fine. Or we can do like one of these mosaic ones. Or we'll do that one instead. That's perfect. Okay. So this guy's moving and grooving. We're going to see how that goes. Can I assign more than one vehicle to that? I don't know if I need to. It's a pretty direct route. But now that we have that in place, let's go ahead and finish out this bridge area. So we've got this kind of scar that we've put into the map. A lot of this we can pretty simply fix by using the soften terrain tool. Bring this down to 35. Bring this up to maybe down to 40. And we can just go ahead, smooth this out right here along the edge. I'm actually going to go ahead and just expand this a little bit further along this way. That's so much better. So now we've got that smooth. It looks nicer all around. I think if I just also make this much larger and give it like one final pass, that will help a lot. Just make it look a little bit better. Still has a little bit of a bump, but that's okay. All around, that looks decent. You wouldn't even know we ended up terraforming a portion of that map. That looks great. You're doing okay? You got some cargo on you? You dropped off some cargo? You're picking some up. Beautiful. This is starting to get some cargo there. That should help with our profits, although I'm seeing that our profits are actually going down. Part of that is our service trade. I think part of our problem is that we are no longer making our electricity through our incinerator. We're only producing 7.25 megawatts. If we look, we're actually using 32.28 megawatts. So this solution is not really working in the long term. Now that we've got the cargo all settled out, let's go back over here to this bus depot. Let's see, we've got 12 passengers waiting. We do need to give a name to the blue line, and we got to rename the purple, but let's actually look through this a little bit closer. We've already placed the station services. They're right here. If I wanted to move those to this side, I think I like that a little bit more. And then extra platforms will just connect all that together. I don't need extra platforms just yet, but I think we're going to do it anyway, just because once we redevelop this and detail it, it's going to look much nicer. I think we need to have some kind of path here. So if I was just to go from here straight on over, I want this to stick to the ground. No keys, no nothing. Go just like this. Get a little path in there. Now I think we just need some like manicured bushes. If we did the wild bush, I actually don't even know if that needs anything else. That's kind of exactly what we needed right there. Just a little bus depot there to help our people out. How is all this going? We've got some more buildings here. These are the European ones. Slightly different. Not all that much different, but slightly different. Now, how are we looking with our unemployment? We're down to 0.6%, which is great. I do want to go ahead and do some mixed use buildings. We're going to do the northeast mixed use. And I am going to go ahead and take over another little block. Maybe what we'll do is we'll take over this block here. We have a tiny parking lot, which I think we can get rid of. The Heath Pub is also here, though, so we want to keep the Heath Pub. So let's go ahead and just go like this. Get rid of all these buildings. Get rid of this small parking lot. Remove these guys here. Let's do the northeast, and we're going to fill this whole area except for where the Heath Pub is, because that is not going to move. And I would love for this to fill in the whole thing, but if you're going to give me a small 3-tile area, I might as well fill it with something. Do I have a 3 park? This is the most we have is this, which is a 2x2, which is not going to work there. Although the 2x2 covered parking could go right behind the Heath Pub instead of what's there, just kind of replaced. I mean, this is just what, motorcycle parking? Oh my god, but stop. Is the Heath Pub like actually a motorcycle bar? We could sneak in a large bike shelter right here and have it go right along this backside here. Fill in this area quite nicely. Okay, so we're going to see what goes in there. Those are going to be some mixed use, which I'm very excited to see. I think I do want to make some small changes here. I think this block here, I'd rather this be like one large mixed use building if possible. Gives us this little sliver here, which again, we could either do a park or we could do a 1-tile pedestrian path, kind of functioning like an alleyway or, you know, an extra section to the front of this art gallery, which is a huge art gallery. This is a great building. What is that? Oh, this is the USA. Okay, this is the Northeast. So we're getting some more density there in that part of the city. It does leave me to want to make changes here, but part of why I'm waiting is because we don't yet have offices, high density offices. When we get those, which we get those at level 10, yeah, we get them at level 10, then we can actually start doing some additional work here. But I want to wait until we have those new offices. Okay, all that's looking pretty good. Bikes are working, our buses are working just fine. Let's go ahead and give a new name to our new bus. Okay, I've just renamed all of these. So now we have Bayview to Old City. So Bayview to Old City is the new blue line we built. That's basically just going up and down right here for now. That'll expand as we keep growing across the canal there. We have Bowling College to Farmland, which is coming from over here. It's going down past Harper Park, straight on over into the farmland area. Then we have Keyshore Park to Blackwood, which is going from over here, crossing all the way along the bayfront, and then going into Blackwood Industrial. And then we have Pelican to Bayview, which is the purple line we worked on earlier. Looks like there's no one taking it right now, but this fluctuates with time. So we're going to see if this changes as we continue to grow, now that we're finally getting people kind of moving into the city here. Now, let's just see. You ended up being the same building as this. I'm not mad about that. That's fine. You ended up being something totally different than I thought you would be. Little small, but if I was to pick this building, and if I go to level 5, you end up getting a little bit taller. Nothing too crazy. That's totally fine, though. Okay, that looks pretty good. So all this is functioning just fine. Our cargo line is functioning just fine. You're starting to get some goods here in stock, which is awesome. We've got our shipping routes. We've got our cargo route. I've not actually messed with the names of those. I'm probably not going to. And then this is doing all right as well. Both of these are filled with storage, which is fantastic. And slowly we're starting to make some more money. In the next part, I do want to do a little bit more work here just to kind of tie these two areas together. I think this is lacking a little bit here. And I want to think of a different solution for our power, because our current power setup is not working very well. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lord, I follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.